People. Que pasa, sakpa, say what they do. Welcome to Crime Time News, where the difference is in the meds. Call it news with a buzz. This part of the video is called a next Jamaican tragedy that could have easily been avoided, prevented, had person had the basic communication skills. Be not so hot-headed. Don't listen. Don't take heed to a situation that could have easily been resolved. I am speaking about a young lady that you see on the screen. Her name is KAMOYA Jenkinson. KAMOYA is from St. James, Montego Bay. She attends Spot Valley High School. Well, attended. She is no longer with us. We know that in Jamaica it is holiday. So holiday start from Thursday, Friday, come back Monday, holiday also. So she went to a place called Russia. Russia is in Westmoreland to stay with a sibling, I think her sister. However, it seems as if the sister and the next person, a 17-year-old, was in some sorts of WAR, commotion, confrontation over a couple of mix-up and passa things. It is said that there was some sorts of arguments, and this lady and the sister that came from St. James don't know anything about anything, was not involved in the mix-up and passa. The 17-year-old suspect used one big stone fling, lick the little girl, the 13-year-old, and then juke her up all over her upper body, in the neck where she got a fatal wound. She was taken to the place of recovery. Pretty much she DIED on the spot. Pass out, pronounced in the hospital. Now when I just heard the story, I heard a couple of things. That's why you're not supposed to haste when you hear anything on social media. The first story that I heard is that this was some sorts of arguments between the sister and a woman. This lady is pregnant. If you look at your screen, this is the lady's picture right here. The suspect, she is said to be 17-year-old. It is said that the sister of the lady, the young girl that lost her life, was taking her man. However, the latest thing that I've heard is that the sister, not the 13-year-old that lost her life, and this suspect was in some sorts of argument for 1,000 Jamaican dollars. People, 1,000 Jamaican dollars is probably $7 or so US. One of you maths genius, let me know in the comment section. No, more than that. 75 cents or so. People, me not really know. So anyways, it is said that them start to argue. The residents them part them. The suspect go sit down under a tree. The people them, the elderly them in the community I tell her, listen, leave it alone, leave it alone. She go sit down under the tree. She take some deep breath. She a pan for a little while, and then she rush the sister. The sister that have nothing to do with nothing, the 13-year-old, lick her with a big stone and then juke her up in her neck like me say. Now people, let me ask you a question. You see say the devil is really running rampant in Jamaica. You see say there is some sorts of ill wind, some sorts of evilous or demonic force that is roaming all over Jamaica. Wherein me no know if the sister borrowed the money from this girl, the sister thief the money from this girl. Me no really know the specifics. However, how desperate, how wicked, how unconscionable can you be? And people sometimes in these places, like them say, misery loves company. So therefore, sometimes people in their misery and they're just looking for someone to take it out on. And sometimes this is the straw that broke the camel's back. People, it is very sad, it is very tragic to see what is going on in Jamaica. This young girl leave our house in a Montego Bay, St. James, come to spend just a weekend with our sister in a Russia in a Westmoreland. So people, me just show you. How many times you see people that are not involved directly get entangled by association because either she take up the FIGHT, take up the argument for her sister, and then she end up losing her life. The sister that was the cause or the motive. Not going to say that she initiated it. Don't know the intricacies, don't know the details, who was wrong, who was the aggressor. But the people them part everybody, them part the suspect. And people, if you look at the picture of the suspect, you would also see that this suspect is pregnant. This suspect is 7-year-old. Now, based on the information that is out there, this suspect will more than likely have her child while she is incarcerated. This suspect more than likely is going to be charged for murder. Not going to say that it is premeditated. However, at least it is going to be manslaughter. She is going to be getting some big time for what she did, based on the fact that she lit this girl with some sorts of big stone and then juke her up several times. So when we look at this little girl, 13-year-old, did not live any sorts of life, lost her life because of some sorts of petty stuff. What are they arguing over? $1,000. If them did even argue because the sister take her man, is that worth somebody losing their life? So now we see the trickle-down effect, the domino effect. It is said that the mother of the 13-year-old and the next sibling that she went to stay with, when that mother heard she was rushed to the hospital, she pretty much collapsed. She fainted down because she hears say her little daughter lose her life. So when we hear the motive, whether of a man or whether for $1,000, does it make any sorts of sense in a 2023? And I understand that these are young people, and we see big great tone people a fight over man or woman. We see that it is a very disturbing tradition or trend or culture in a Jamaica. Or even if of $1,000, the people them calm them down. Somebody could not give this girl the $1,000 back. Take it out of them pocket and give her for calm or quell the war. And people, maybe even if they did, sometimes people have ulterior motive. Sometimes people are literally carrying belly or feelings for people for whatever. So therefore anything is going to trigger them off. At the end of the day, this is very sad. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is called Speaking It Into Being. There's been several videos and voice notes circulating all over social media with some sorts of JDF, Popo, helicopter all over the place. You could hear the sounds of all sorts of high-powered rifle, all sorts of 9, all sorts of 4 to the 5th. Persons were asking me, did you hear anything about any sorts of pie out between the JCF, the JDF military team on some sorts of operation? I did not hear. However, people, you know that in Jamaica, whenever anything calm down, sooner or later, it is going to come to pass. In a place called Salt Spring, which is in Montego Bay, St. James, it is said that the Popo went on some sorts of operation at about 1:30 p.m. in the day. They entered the area in a Salt Spring. They came under heavy FIRE. Needless to say, they returned the FIRE, you know that script. After the smoke cleared, one person was found suffering from all sorts of Popo inflicted wounds. Needless to say, he was rushed Turkey style to the hospital where he lost his life. The Popo recovered 2 fire pieces. Needless to say, some people either get boomy, dash where the toll, or popo, blaze up fire, catch them get jumpy, run left the toll. Luckily for them, however, sadly for Jamaica, those people would live to come back and haunt the community once again. Luckily for the popo, at least one is DEAD. 2 tolls were taken off the street. Point blank and period. Further on in the news, it is said that a beryllium employee is presently in the custody of the popo. What is this employee charged with? It is said that he was arrested for being a part of that hit of those beryllium guards that were robbed in Portmore of 23.2 million Jamaican dollars last month. It is said that the popo launched some special operation at the evening. They caught the man. They took him to the house. When they went to the house, they found $500,000 Jamaican dollars, 500,000 Jamaican dollars. So this makes 7 people, 7 suspects, including a man, Shamir Yee, that was arrested and officially charged for being a part of a criminal organization, breaches of the Firearm Act, and also robbery with aggravation. So people, 8 people. Now if you remember, when that incident occurred, persons were wondering, persons were pondering, how them people are hit 2 times. $10 million the first time in a February and then $23 million in a March. It seems as if somebody is giving out some sorts of information. It seems as if them have some sorts of inside source. So people, what this proves, unless this man can prove that that $500,000 that was found in his house, in his possession, is money that him withdraw or him family from overseas, Central, Western Union or MoneyGram, or him win the lotto, the average guard does not have $500,000 just put down in him also. So me just say, something in a something. What this shows you is that whenever these people, meaning these security companies, hire these people, if they don't have good vetting process, and the truth is that people are not going to tell you that they have criminal intention. They are just going to go in the organization like some sorts of mole, and then they must supply the criminals with information. So these employees cannot take it for granted that whenever they hire these people, they are honest people, because the truth and the fact is that most of these security companies, a lot of their employees are ex-rogue popo that was kicked out of the JCF for some sorts of criminal suspicion. So therefore, the likely possibility is that if you have the fox or the hyena or the wolf, I watch the chicken cub, them are got thief, them are got yam off the chicken them. And the worst thing is that these people put their fellow employees' lives at jeopardy because they are caught off guard. We see in 2 of the incidents, the people have to run for them dear life. In the last incident, in the first one person actually lost his life, 1 person got grazed. People, it is very sad how desperate and crooked and criminal these people in Jamaica, especially people that are supposed to be honest, they are crooked as ever. Point blank and period. So anyways people, thanks once again for checking out my video. If you appreciate videos like this, please show your appreciation by liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing to my channel. That is how YouTube promotes videos like these to like-minded, sensible persons like yourself. And last but not least, please to subscribe to my next channel. The link is in the description of this video. It is called Jamaica Dancehall Source. Bless up.